What's going on, my brothers and sisters in the faith? I pray y'all doing well. I come with another word again from the book of Luke, chapter 13, verses 23 through 27, and we're just gonna get right into it. Then one said unto him, Lord, are there few that be saved? And he said, Strive to enter in at the strait gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. When once the master of the house has risen up and has shut the door, and you begin to stand without and knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open up unto us. And he shall answer and say to you, I know you not who you are. Then you shall begin to say, Lord, we have eaten and drunk in your presence, and you have taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I don't know who you are. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. Man, you don't want to be one of those who work in iniquity, huh? Let me get a quick breakdown. And we're going to read that verse again, verse 24. Luke 13, verse 24. Strive to enter in at the strait gates. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able to. This means there's a necessary, intense battle that has to be fought against sin and selfish desire daily. Daily, y'all. Daily. Jesus uses this to teach that the way to life is not easy and demands commitment. He said many will only casually seek to enter in, rather than them striving to enter. There needs to be a personal and intentional effort. Verse 25. This verse highlights the finality of God closing the door to salvation. It warns that procrastination leads to a place where the door of grace shuts, separating those outside the kingdom of heaven despite their pleading. Verse 26, it speaks about people claiming to know Christ because they went to church and did Christian things. But in reality, those things are not their personal relationship with Jesus. He wants us to know him, and that can only happen when we spend personal time with him in prayer and in reading daily, remaining fully surrendered and committed to him, obeying his word, as well as living for him and never for ourselves. We have to stay set apart from the world as well. Verse 27, the statement, depart from me, all you workers of iniquity, is a major warning from Jesus regarding the final judgment. It is a permanent separation from Jesus' presence. And workers of iniquity means those who produce unrighteousness, those who produce unrighteous fruit. In other words, those who produce sin, those who produce nothing but sin, or practice sin, or live a sinful lifestyle. They are actions that go against God's character and commandments. When he says, I don't know where you are, or I don't know who you are, where you come from, he is stating he doesn't recognize them as his own, highlighting that being familiar with him is not the same as a saving relationship. It's not the same. And that ties into Matthew 7, verses 13 through 14. Verse 24, verses 24 in Luke ties into Matthew verse 7, verses 13 through 14. I'm going to read that real quick. Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leads to life, and there be few. He said there be few that find it. Because a lot of people don't want to give up their life. They don't want to do that. So what chapter 7, verse 13 and 14 in Matthew is saying He's emphasizing that there's a clear difference between an easy and popular path, which leads to destruction, and a difficult and constricted path, which leads to life. The summary of all of this is this: just because you grew up in a church and did religious things or activities does not mean you know Christ personally. You need to strive to enter in that straight gate, like Jesus said. You have to deny yourself daily of sinful and selfish desires. You need to pick up your cross, meaning dying to yourself daily and what you want and what you want to do. And you must follow after the ways of Jesus Christ and continue on in the teachings of the apostles. That's the word of the day. I pray that this may have convicted somebody and encouraged somebody to want to go deeper and take Christ seriously. God bless y'all.